First bell goes at 6 a.m. Inmates rise, dress, clean and tidy rooms. 7 a.m. muster and report for assigned work. The breakfast bell is at 8 a.m. Daily showers are taken at times designated by the house officer. The rules are more fully explained in this. Inside. Now, come on, Mrs. Roberts. I haven't got all night. I'll wait until you've made up your bed.
May I phone my family again just to see if they're all right?
You're allowed only one phone call on admission. You've made that.
Oh, but they're not used to being without me. My daughter's used to me being there.
I'm sure Mr. Roberts will see she's all right. Come on, Mrs. Roberts. Worrying's not going to help the situation.
Sarah, what are you doing up?
I couldn't sleep. I want Mum.
If she were here, she'd expect you to be in bed, young lady. Come on.
When's she coming home, Dad?
I got to see a lawyer first thing tomorrow. We'll get Mum home, don't you worry about that.
Forever?
Look, we've always been pretty honest with each other, eh? Well, your mother's got to go to trial, you know that.
But it wasn't her fault, Dad. I shouldn't have rung her and told her that man was there.
I gotta get the best lawyer I can. We'll make sure she comes home for good.
But she didn't want me to go down the shop. It's my fault.
Sarah, we got to help each other, love. Your mother would think we were pretty useless if she thought we couldn't cope without her, right?
Why did she kill him, Dad?
She didn't mean to, love. She was just trying to protect you.
Then it was my fault.
No. Look, we got to show Mum that she's not to worry about us. We'll see this thing through together, right?
Don't let them hurt her, Dad.
I won't, love.
Now, don't forget, the rising bell's at 6 a.m. Now, hurry up and get changed. I have to turn the lights out.
I'll be all right.
Very well.
sleeping on a pile of rocks. Oh, and I think I done my neck in.
Turn round.
Oh, not so rough. It's making it worse.
Stop complaining.
It's no wonder I didn't get any sleep last night with these bloody ants crawling all over me.
Yeah, well, thank your lucky stars you didn't have that fat slob climbing all over you.
Yeah. You didn't clobber him too hard, did you, Frankie? I mean, I'm glad you did, but he's not dead or nothing, is he?
It's gone like that. Could drop a slab of concrete on it. You'd only break the concrete.
Yeah. More than I can say for me.
Serves a mongrel right. Shouldn't have hurt you.
You reckon he'll dob us into the cops?
Nah. He'd only get had up for hiding a couple of crims. Anyway, I don't think he's on the straight and narrow himself. A bloke like that wouldn't go to the cops.
Frankie,
Yeah?
thanks for looking after me.
Yeah, well, next time you get any bright ideas, don't.
What are we gonna do now?
Been sleeping on something.
Yeah? What?
Have to give it a bit more thought.
Bit lower.
Bloody hell. Did they have to ring that damn thing so loud?
What's the matter, love? You got a hangover?
Who'd be complaining if I did?
Okay, who's the smart bitch that took my bra?
Come off it. Who'd fit into a 50 car?
Ah, shut up. You're just jealous.
Huh? Who'd want to be built like a cow?
Mr. Roberts, from what you've told me, the main problem is going to be in proving your wife's act was not premeditated.
Premeditated?
Now, I know you believe it wasn't, but it's what the prosecution will be working on. And that could mean the difference between being found guilty of murder rather than manslaughter.
But she was just trying to protect our daughter.
Yes. Look, I'm sorry I can't be of more help. However, I can suggest the name of a good barrister.
No. Look, I want you to take the case.
Didn't your wife have someone representing her at the magistrate's court?
Yes, but that was just a local solicitor. Look, if it's a question of money, that's no problem. I just want my wife to have the best defense.
Yes, well, naturally, I wouldn't charge you any more than my usual fee. In some circles, it's considered quite high enough.
Mr. Wilson, we need your help.
Yes, Mr. Wilson?
Annette, we could be here for some time. Perhaps you'd like to take Sarah next door for a milkshake or something.
Yes, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you.
Tell me, what are you doing about your wife's bail?
That's all in order. I've spoken to the bank manager.
Good. Mr. Roberts, what were the police doing about finding Sarah's attacker? Had they progressed very far?
Well, they didn't have much to go on.
What was your wife's feelings about that?
Well, angry, I suppose.
Angry?
Oh, we all wanted the man caught.
Yes, of course. You're both very protective toward your daughter.
Same as any parent would feel under the circumstances.
From what you've told me, Mr. Roberts, even if the police had arrested this man, there may not have been enough evidence to stand up in court.
That's right.
And that would have made matters worse. To know the man that had raped your daughter could have walked out of that courtroom scot-free.
Now, look, I know what you're getting at, but it won't work. Of course, we were angry, very angry. But we didn't want Sarah to go to court. We even considered dropping the whole thing.
Whichever way you look at it, Mr. Roberts, there's a reasonable case against your wife.
I'm not following you.
Firstly, she was angry. Now, that's an understandable reaction, I grant you. Secondly, she wanted to see this man pay for what he did to your daughter. Again, a normal reaction. But to have Sarah go to court, to have her face the trauma of having to relive her experiences all over again, and then to know that this man could get off. Well, how much better to kill the suspect? That way, she has her revenge, and Sarah doesn't have to testify in court.
Oh, now, just hold it right there. I know Catherine. We've been married for 15 years. To even suggest that she would deliberately set out to kill Bert Warren, well, that's just not on.
They're the possibilities we'll have to face in court, Mr. Roberts.
No, no way. I'm not going to do it, Frankie.
Use your head, Doreen. It's the only chance we got.
A bank? When was the last time you were in one, huh? There's cameras and alarms
Look,
and
you
all
said
sorts of
yourself you
things.
want to get out of Melbourne. You've got to have money to do that.
Yeah, but I'm not holding up a bank.
Look, will you listen to me for a minute? It'd set us up for life. We could get a little place in the country. Gazza and me was always going to do that.
Yeah, but your brother wasn't going to rob a bank. It's dangerous.
It'll be a cinch. All you got to do is check it out and wait for the right time.
Yeah, but you were put inside for doing a dumb job like this.
This'll be different. I've learned a lot since then. I'll look after you, Doreen.
Oh, yeah. Like the last time. Well, your girlfriend copped it, didn't she? She's dead. Well, there's no way I'm going to wind up dead. I'd rather turn myself in.
If that's the way you feel, why don't you?
Come on, Frankie. We could think of something else. A petrol station or a shop, maybe.
Yeah, we hang around Melbourne much longer, we're going to get caught. And I'm not going back inside. Do the job on my own.
Oh, you can't, Frankie.
Then give us a hand.
No way!
Hi, Greg. Well, hello, Mr. Wilson.
Miss Vernon?
Look, Greg, I'm sorry about that dinner we organised, but it's going to have to wait a while if that's okay.
I'm easy.
I'm finally moving out of that revolting bed sit. Meg's let me move in with her. It'll take a while to get organised.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do.
Don't worry, I will.
You wish to see one of the prisoners?
Yes, I'm representing a Mrs. Catherine Roberts.
Well, she's showering at the moment. Would you like to wait in the interview room?
All right, fine.
My, you're keeping yourself busy. Don't tell me you've forgotten about Lynn Warner, or don't charity cases get the same attention?
As far as I'm concerned, Miss Vernon, none of my clients has ever had any cause to complain. Have any of yours?
Shut up, Sal. Hi.
Hi.
How you feeling?
All right, thanks.
When's your trial?
In about a week, Miss Vernon arranged a lawyer for me, Mr. Wilson. She reckons he's pretty good.
Steve Wilson?
Mm-hmm. Do you know him?
Yes, he's representing me too.
Oh, really?
Excuse me, but that's my deodorant you're using.
Oh, so what?
Well, I wouldn't have minded you using it if only you'd asked.
Oh, bug off.
I'd leave it if I were you. But she's got no right.
Leave it. You're new here. You don't understand.
I understand bad manners.
How long did you get?
I'm only here on remand. My husband's organising bail.
Aren't you the lucky one? Mrs. Roberts, your lawyer wants to see you.
Did you see her at breakfast?
Mm-hmm. Bit of a lady, isn't she?
Wonder what she's in for.
Oh, probably something like shoplifting. At least she's got enough money to get out on bail.
Couldn't your parents arrange bail for you, Lynn?
Mm-mm. It was too much.
I didn't even ask for it.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Mrs. Roberts. My name's Stephen Wilson. Your husband's asked me to represent you.
Where is Ken?
Oh, he'll be along later. I just wanted to have a word with you privately.
And Sarah?
Yes, she's fine.
When do I get out of here?
This afternoon. Please, won't you sit down? Now, Mrs. Roberts, your trial is in 5 days' time, so it doesn't leave me very much time. I hope you'll bear with me if I have to ask you a few difficult questions.
But I told the police everything.
Yes, well, mine may be just a little different. Now, you will let me know if I leave anything out, all right? Good. Now, yesterday, Sarah went to the shop. She said that she saw the man who'd raped her, and she rang you. You said you'd ring the police and that she was to stay where she was with the shopkeeper, Mrs. Heath.
Yes.
Then you got into your car and you drove how far?
About a quarter of a mile.
A quarter of a mile. You then saw the man walking across the street from the shop, and you ran him down, correct?
Yes.
What were you thinking about when you were in the car, before you saw him?
Thinking?
Yes, were you angry, fearful, panic-stricken, calm, or were you thinking then about killing him?
No, of course not. Well, I suppose I was scared for Sarah. I just wanted to get to her quickly. I was thinking of her.
But what about when you actually saw him, the man that you were told had raped Sarah?
Oh, I hated him. I just wanted to see him.
Dead?
Oh, I don't remember. I just know that I hated him.
Did you know at the time who the man was? You didn't know that his name was Warren and that he worked for your husband?
Not until later.
Isn't it possible, Mrs. Roberts, that Sarah had seen Mr. Warren before? At your husband's office, outside, or somewhere?
I'd never seen him before.
Yes, but what about Sarah?
It's possible. What are you getting at?
That Sarah could have seen Mr. Warren before. That after the shock of what had happened to her, she imagined that Mr. Warren was the man who'd raped her. It's quite possible, Mrs. Roberts, that you killed the wrong man. An innocent man.
Mary Bentley.
I bet that Screw just loves reading our mail.
Francis Taylor.
Hope you had a good perv.
I don't care. This is the first time I've ever got any mail.
Lynn Warner. Karen Travers.
It's from Dad. Miss Vernon must have written to him like she said she would. What's wrong?
Betty.
Oh, it looks like a child's writing.
Oh, it might just be from one of the kids you used to teach. Have a look.
Ah, I'd like to see you for a minute, Lynn.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Wilson, have you heard anything yet?
I'll get back to you, Mrs. Travers.
Darling, how are you?
Oh, missed you.
Oh, and I missed you too. I thought about you all last night. Oh, let me look at you.
Anyone would think you hadn't seen each other for weeks. Hello.
Hello, it feels like weeks.
I told Sarah I'd be picking up later this afternoon. She couldn't wait. Wanted to see you now.
Dad and I went to a lawyer this morning, Mum.
I know, I've seen him. You shouldn't have taken her, Ken.
I couldn't very well leave her at home.
I wanted to go, Mum.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit edgy, that's all.
Is everything all right?
Just want to get out of here. Sarah, that man, are you absolutely certain that he was the one?
Catherine, I think...
I've got to know this, Ken. I've been going out of my mind. Now, Sarah, this is terribly important. Please listen to me. Are you absolutely certain that that was the man that attacked you?
Yes, Mum. You've got to believe me. I'm sorry I got you in trouble.
Oh, it's all right, darling. I do believe you. And it's not your fault. Just as long as I know that he was the one.
Hi. Can I come in?
Yeah. How'd you go?
Oh, okay. Seems pretty certain I'll only get a light sentence.
Oh, that's terrific. Although I'm a bit jealous. You know, you've only just come back and your trial will be over in about a week. My appeal's taking forever.
It's the waiting that's the killer.
You should be happy.
Oh, it's not that. Dad just seems so strange in his letter.
In what way?
I don't know. He talks about the farm and everything, but just doesn't say anything about how he feels about what I've done.
Well, give him time. It must have been a bit of a shock.
I guess. He said Mum's not very well.
I'm sorry.
Who's your letter from?
Frankie.
You're kidding. What did she say?
Oh, nothing much. Just, we're doing real good. Sorry I'll give you a hard time.
Wonder how it got past the screws.
She didn't sign it. But it's from her, all right. At least she's sticking with learning how to write. I guess I wasn't a total failure.
There's only an old bloke in the hardware shop. I think I'm going to throw up.
You do and I'll wring your neck. I've changed my plans once for you already, Doreen. I'm not going to do it again. Now, just sit down and don't think about it.
Don't think about it. I must be out of my mind. Oh, come on, Frankie.
I'm staying here. Think about something else.
Oh, like what?
What sort of farm we're going to get?
Who cares?
Doreen.
I'm scared, Frankie.
I'm not going to let you down, Doreen. Let my little brother down. That's not going to happen again.
It wasn't your fault he got killed, Frankie.
He's a good kid. Wasn't even there when he died.
Yeah. And if I'd told you the truth about what was in that telegram, he would have been there in time.
Oh, not your fault. I couldn't read. My own stupid fault. But I'm going to get that farm, even if he's not here to see it.
Still got me, Frankie.
Yeah.
You're the best friend I ever had.
We're going to make it, Doreen.
Yeah.
Now, look, Mrs. Baker, Mary's only got a 6-month sentence. Now, surely you could manage 1 or 2 visits in that time. It's most important that she keeps in contact with her family. Don't shut her out. It'd be the worst thing for her. Yeah, but what's she going to do when she gets out of it? Hello? Oh, damn it.
One of those days?
That is an understatement.
Key to the unit. Move in whenever you like.
Sure you don't want to change your mind?
Why should I?
Well, if you think this is bad, you should see my bedsit. I mean, I'm clean, but I'm a compulsive hoarder.
Oh, I don't mind, as long as you keep it all in your room.
I'll be a starboarder.
Let's go.
Now?
Yeah, now. There's only one person in there. All you got to do is keep watch outside, okay?
What are we going to do?
Don't panic. Come on. Nice and easy, Doreen.
He's following us, Frankie.
Get ready. Run!
Don't die, Frankie. You'll be okay. I'll get you to the hospital. Or somebody bloody get an ambulance.
Get out of here, Doreen. Run.
I'm not leaving you, Frankie.
You still got a chance.
I'm not leaving.
I've had it, Doreen. You can still make it. Bloody get out of here.
I'll see you, Frankie.
Now get the hell out of here.
Bloody bastards!
I'd like to see my client alone, please. I won't be long. Sit down.
I was beginning to think you'd given up my case.
Yes, well, I'm sorry I haven't seen you earlier. It's just that I have been busy.
I noticed.
There's not really anything else that I can tell you at this stage. I just wanted to say not to worry.
How much longer do I have to wait?
Well, that's up to the Supreme Court now. They'll go into your case very thoroughly. It depends on them. These things vary.
Can't you hurry them along?
Well, one doesn't hurry the Supreme Court. Look, I'll put a few feelers out in a day or two. I'm sure they'll reopen the case. It's just that it does take time.
Which appears to be something you don't have enough of, Mr. Wilson, going by the number of clients you're representing. Or do you just concentrate on the paying ones?
It's not a question of money.
Doing it out of the love of it.
I am being paid to represent you, Mrs. Travers.
Who? Not my mother. No, she wouldn't. Who then?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to tell you.
Why not? I see. Is that all?
What's the trouble?
Mr. Wilson and I have finished. I'd like to speak to the doctor, please.
Why?
Because I feel dreadful, that's why.
She says she's been having short blackouts. Perhaps we could arrange for a blood test. Could be sugar.
Yes, Doctor.
Come in.
She wanted to see you.
Thank you, Miss Bennett.
The governor gave strict instructions you were not to be left alone, Doctor.
I'm well aware of that. But I'm sure Sister can provide all the supervision we need, don't you? Perhaps you could arrange for those blood tests, Sister.
Yes, Doctor.
Nice having loyal staff.
Are you paying for my lawyer?
Who told you that?
It wasn't hard to put two and two together.
So shoot me.
If I can't pay for him myself, I'll find someone I can afford.
Oh, now that's ridiculous, and you know it. It's too late to change lawyers now. He's one of the best. You'd only be hurting yourself.
I don't want to be under any obligations.
Well, who said you were? Look, if it make you any happier, I'd do the same for any friend.
Would you?
It's a stupid thing to say.
All I want is a retrial.
That's all I want for you.
I may be serving time for some years yet.
Anything's better than life.
I think you missed my point. I don't want you caring too much for me, Greg. We'd only end up hurting one another.
It's a bit late for that, Karen.
It might be a bit late for you, but it's not too late for me. I don't want to get involved. I've seen what happens to women who come in here loving somebody, and it tears them apart. Well, it's not going to happen to me. It's over between us. Do you understand? Finished.
Oh, Mrs. Roberts, your husband just rang. He's going to be a little late picking you up.
Oh, did he say why?
No, he didn't. Now, you can either wait here or down at reception.
I'll wait here. Mrs. Jackson, do you have a family?
Just a son.
I have a daughter.
Yes, you told me.
What would you do if someone was threatening your son and there was no one around to help him?
I don't know.
I was only protecting Sarah, you know.
And you thought by killing a man, you'd be helping her?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I did.
Yes.
I trust that's not your bedside manner, Doctor.
Sorry, Jean. I'm a bit busy at the moment, actually.
Oh, well, I won't keep you a sec. How about coming over for that meal I promised you tonight?
I thought you were too busy moving.
Uh-huh, I will be. But with a little help from my friends, I'll be able to get through with it quickly.
Blackmail, huh?
Well, you did offer. And there's not all that much to move.
Well, could do with the exercise.
Great. Is, everything all right? I don't like to pry, but I'm a terrible busybody.
Thanks, Jean.
Okay. If there's ever a time you feel like drowning your sorrows with someone, I'm great at bending the elbow.
She was doing really well. Trying so hard to please me. Most teaching's like that. Oh, I should have known.
She got a bit carried away.
She tried to kiss me. I slapped her. She stormed out. The trouble is, when she calms down, she'll probably want to go on learning. She's got a brain in her head, she will, but...
But?
Well, I couldn't. I know why it happened, and I know it'll happen again.
Look, you can't stop now. I don't mean with Frankie. There are others you can teach. You really enjoy children, don't you?
I'd have to.
As I remember, you used to want children of your own. When you and I were... I think it was 6.
Yes, well, it seemed a nice round figure at the time.
And then you got married, but no children.
No, I came close.
You've got to learn to trust somebody. You've got a chance. Now take it. If you don't help yourself now, nobody else can.
All right.
Has not yet been found. Just repeating that item, a fatal shooting took place in Canterbury this afternoon in which a policeman was wounded and a woman shot and killed when the policeman attempted to apprehend 2 escapees from the Wentworth Detention Centre. The dead woman, Frida Doyle, and the second woman, Doreen Anderson, have been eluding a massive police hunt for 3 weeks. Doreen Anderson has not been found. According to the wounded officer and witnesses, Frida Doyle fired at the pursuing officer first. She died before ambulancemen were on the scene. And in other news today...
You murderers! You bloody murderers! You killed her! You bloody murderers! She never had a chance! You never let her! You murderers! She's around the bend. Should get the police. That's right! Get the police! That's right! Lock us up! And if you can't lock us up, shoot us! Hey, what's the matter with you? Oh, you bitch! Get away from me! Oh, Frankie! She should be put away!
Sign the disbursement book here, please. Mr. Roberts is at the gate to pick up his wife. Oh, right. See she gets those things. You better check them.
Meg? Mm-hmm. Do you want to lift home?
Oh, no, I'm not off for another couple of hours.
Oh. Greg's volunteered to help me move.
On the proviso I get a home-cooked meal.
Which I shall do with my own talented hands. We'll have some waiting for you when you come home.
Oh, that'll be a change, not having to cook for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
When you've got a moment, the governor would like to see you.
Fine.
Meg, Frankie Doyle's dead.
What? How?
Typical of Doyle. She got herself a gun and had a shot at the police.
Poor girl.
I knew that temper would be the end of her one day.
What about Doreen?
She ran off. Didn't even have the decency to stay with Doyle.
Are you ready?
I was beginning to think you weren't coming.
I had to go to the railway station.
The station?
I've sent Sarah to stay at Vivian's.
Why?
Look, we need to talk, Catherine, and I don't want her getting any more upset. I thought it best that she get out of town for a while.
Why didn't you ask
Because
me?
you wouldn't have let her go.
I don't want your family getting involved.
Oh. Viv's all right. She understands.
And what do you think you're doing? Why aren't you at work?
I don't feel well.
Oh, it must be nice having a doctor for a friend, Travers. He gave you a special direction to take it easy. Is that it?
No.
Couldn't be because you're jealous. You mean you haven't heard?
I'm sure you're dying to tell me.
Well, I thought you'd be interested to know that Dr. Miller and that welfare officer seem to be getting along rather well.
So what?
Well, it must be hard on you knowing that you're in here and they're outside. It's hard on a woman to keep her eye on her man when she's locked up at nights.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't give a damn what Dr. Miller does. Although you seem to be taking a special interest.
By the way, you won't have to worry about Frankie Doyle again.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
I thought you'd be pleased about Doyle.
You're a bitch.
I could put you in the pound for that.
You just do that.
No, darling, no. You won't have to stay at Aunt Vivian's long. And I want you home, too. Just as soon as possible. And is everything all right? Good girl. Now, Sarah, I don't want you worrying. No, everything's going to be just fine. Right, darling. Night-night. She didn't want to go to Ballarat.
I thought it best.
To keep us apart? You blame me for this, don't you?
Oh, Catherine, please, isn't it hard enough? Bert Warren was with the firm for 8 years. He was one of the most steady and respectable men I knew.
And he raped Sarah. Or don't you believe your own daughter?
I think it's possible that what your lawyer said could have happened, that Sarah imagined he was responsible.
Well, I don't.
For God's sake, will you listen to yourself for a minute? What's happened to you? I mean, all you're worried about is whether you killed the right man. Haven't you got into your head that, regardless of who you killed, you did kill someone?
You don't have to keep reminding me. You don't have to keep telling me and telling me. Of course, you know, no court's going to convict me for what I did.
You're not serious. Hasn't this lawyer told you what sort of trouble you're in? Well, then don't you realize that if you are convicted, what's going to happen to Sarah and me?
No. No, they won't blame me. They won't send me back to prison. Not back there.
Well, are you going to stand there gawking all day, or are you going to let me in?
Apart from the fact you broke out of the Wentworth Detention Centre, you'll be charged with assault on a Mr. Trevor McBride, theft of several articles of clothing, and attempted armed robbery.
We never got near the shop.
No, but you admitted you were about to proceed with the robbery when you were stopped by Police Officer Gibbons. You might be interested to know there's one charge that hasn't been laid. You remember Miss McBride?
Yeah.
Well, she refused to lay charges against you and Doyle.
However, you've got enough against you to do another 5 to 10 years. So anything you can help us with...
Pigs! Watch your mouth, Anderson.
Where did Doyle get that gun?
Dunno.
You were with her all the time, weren't you?
That cop Frankie shot. He pulled through.
Luckily for you.
He ought to be charged with murder.
Apart from holding up at Miss McBride's, where else did you stay? Did anyone help you?
No.
Then how did you live? Breaking and entering?
Well?
Piss off.
I won't warn you again, Anderson.
What are you going to do, Vera? Lock me in the pound? Bash me up? They do that in here, you know. Screws are always bashing you up.
Why'd you turn yourself in?
I owe a friend.
What friend?
Frankie.
Mrs. Roberts, there is just one more thing I have to clear up. Now, you said you rang the police. You were expecting the police to turn up, then?
Yes.
According to them, they arrived 5 minutes after you ran down and killed Mr. Warren.
Well, I don't remember too clearly. I was very shocked at the time, but they did arrive shortly afterwards, yes.
Why didn't you leave the police to handle the matter, Mrs. Roberts?
Well, I told you before. When I saw that man coming out of the shop, I had to stop him. I couldn't let him get away.
What do you think, Mr. Wilson?
It's going to be difficult. I want to go for manslaughter. That after your daughter was raped, you were highly emotional. That when she rang you and told you the rapist was waiting for her outside, you snapped. That you had no intention of running down Warren until the very last moment.
That's exactly how it happened.
That you were emotionally unstable at the time.
Unstable?
Temporarily insane.
Well, if you think that's the best line to take.
Do you think I was insane?
I just want to see you get out of this, Catherine.
You'll be moved to a single cell, Anderson, for observation. You're now considered dangerous. How does that make you feel? As big as Frankie?
One day your filthy mouth's gonna get you killed, Vera.
I didn't think you cared about Doyle. You did run off and leave her to die. I knew it wouldn't be too long before you ended up in this place.
They never would have got me if I hadn't wanted to come back. You.
Doreen.
I only came back so as I could see you. It's your fault Frankie's dead. She never would have got out and been dead by now if it hadn't been for you.
Doreen, that's not true.
You